April 14, 2015, from Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. It was the Washington Nationals at the Boston Red Sox in this interleague game. And on the mound for the Nationals, Steven Strasburg. And on the mound for the Red Sox, Justin Masterson. And these teams didn't waste much time getting on the scoreboard. In the top of the second inning, the Nationals, Ramos led off. He grounded out. Then Ian Desmond got a double. Espinosa walked, but then Desmond was caught stealing third, and Espinosa was able to advance to second. So Taylor was up, he hit a single, Espinosa scored from second, and it was now 1-0 Nationals over the Red Sox. Taylor then stole second, but Escobar grounded out, and that did it for the top half of the second. Then in the bottom half of the inning, Napoli hits a single, then Daniel Nava pops out, Hannigan strikes out, and now Brock Holt would come to the plate, and he hit a single, and now it's 2 on, 2 out for Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts then hits a double and brings in Napoli and Holt as he picks up 2 RBIs, and the Red Sox take the lead by 1 run with the score 2-1. Pedroia then grounded out to end the inning, but not after the Red Sox had taken the lead after the Nationals had put the first run on the scoreboard in the top half of the inning. Now let's go to the bottom of the third. David Ortiz would strike out to start out the inning, but then Hanley Ramirez came to the plate. He got a single. It's now 1 on and 1 out for Pablo Sandoval. Kung Fu Panda got hit by a pitch. Now it's 2 on, 1 out for Napoli. He grounded into a fielder's choice, and Sandoval was out at second, but Ramirez was now on third, so he had runners on the corners for Daniel Nava, and Nava hit a single that brought in Hanley Ramirez, and it was now 3-1 Red Sox as they extended their lead to 2 runs, and Napoli was now on third, 90 feet away from home plate, and the catcher Hannigan came up. He hit a single that brought Napoli in, and it was now 4-1 Red Sox as Nava now advanced to third, and it was a 3-1 lead for Boston. Brock Holt would strike out and bring it into the third inning, but not after the Red Sox had extended their lead by 2 more runs to make it a 3-run lead at 4-1 after 3 innings of play. Now to the 4th inning, the bottom of the 4th inning, Mookie Betts would ground out to open up the inning, and now Dustin Pedroia came up with 1 out, and Dustin Pedroia took Strasburg deep to make it 5-1 Red Sox as they extended their lead to 4 runs. Ortiz would line out and Ramirez would strike out, and that would do it for the 4th inning, but not after the Red Sox had extended their lead to 4 runs with a home run by Pedroia. So now in the top of the 5th inning, the Nationals would respond as Escobar, he would start out with a ground out, but then Worth was hit by a pitch that brought up Bryce Harper. He got a single, so now 2 on with 1 out for Zimmerman. Zimmerman walks, so now we have the bases juiced for Robinson. Robinson got a single that would bring in Worth, and the bases were still juiced with Ramos at the plate. He grounded out into short, but Bryce Harper scored, and so now we had 2 on in scoring position with Zimmerman on third and Robinson on second, in the score now 5-3. Desmond at the plate, he gets a single that brings in Zimmerman and Robinson, who were both in scoring position, and now it was a tie ball game at 5 runs apiece. So now Desmond would end up safe at second on a throwing error on the play, and then Espinosa was hit by a pitch, and now Masterson's day was done as Ogando would come in to relieve him. Taylor now at the plate, and he hits a triple to bring in Desmond and Espinosa. Now it was 7-5. Both of those runs attributed to Justin Masterson as the Nationals took the lead by 2 runs in the top of the 5th. Escobar would then strike out and bring the top half of the inning to a close, but not after the Nationals had scored 6 runs in the inning to take the lead by 2 runs. So now fast forward all the way to the bottom of the 7th, still a 2-run game. Matt Thornton on the mound for the Nationals. Hanley Ramirez would reach first on an error by Desmond, and then Victorino was hit by a pitch, so now we had 2 on, no outs for Napoli. He popped out, but Ramirez was able to tag up and move over to third. That would bring up Craig, who hit for Nava, and he ended up facing a reliever in Treinen, who came in for Thornton. He was then hit by a pitch, and now Victorino was on second, so now Hannigan Hannigan was at the plate, and he reached first on an error by the pitcher. Ramirez scored, Victorino to third, Craig to second, but the error would now bring in Victorino, and so now Craig would reach third base by another error by the pitcher. So it was now a tie ball game as 2 runs came in by errors. Now Brock Holt at the plate, and Brock Holt grounded out, and Craig scored, and Hannigan went to second, and the Red Sox were now in the lead with the score 8-7. Mookie Betts would ground out and bring the 7th to a close, but not after a lot of craziness, as the Red Sox scored 3 runs and took a 1-run lead into the 8th inning. No one would score in the 8th, and that would bring us to the top of the 9th with Koji Uehara on the mound, as he had been set up nicely by Tazawa, who would come in the top of the 8th. But here in the top of the 9th, Uehara would face Bryce Harper, and Bryce Harper struck out swinging. Zimmerman then lined out to left, and that would bring up Robinson with 2 out in the bottom of the 9th, representing the tying run, and Uehara would get him swinging for the final out of this game as the Boston Red Sox hold on to win with the final score 8-7, and the winner ends up being Mujica. Treinen gets the loss, Uehara with the save, Pedroia 3 for 4 and an RBI, Mookie Betts 1 for 5 with 2 RBIs. An incredible game between these two teams as Mookie Betts picks up his 8th RBI, his 2nd double of the season, 2 RBIs in the game. As I said, Pedroia went deep, and Uehara with the save, Mujica with the win for the Boston Red Sox with the final score Boston 8, Washington 7.